Sandy says she seems off, and Bugsy turns him on. It's Watch What Happens Live at Home with Hannah and Alex from Below Deck Med now. Welcome to Watch What Happens Live at Home from the Hamptons. I'm your host, Andy Cohen, with one guest who puts on a brave face for the charter guests and another who put our faces together on a t-shirt last time he was on this show. From Below Deck Med, welcome back Chief Stu, Hannah Ferrier, all the way in Sydney, Australia, and deckhand Alex Radcliffe from Boston. Hey, you two, how are you?
Hey, Andy, how are you?
Good.
Hannah, I love your new look.
Oh, thank you. We're doing a middle part today.
I love it. Pregnancy middle part always works. Drinking game alert. I guess what? No, and anytime you hear anyone say this word, if you're 21 or over, drink until you're the captain of a stupor yacht. Oy vey. Speaking of oy vey, we all love Chef Kiko, but tonight the Vegas-themed dinner party played out like a round of craps, and Hannah, some may say you're to blame for letting him deal out that meal with a mid-buffet brownie. So I have a round of questions about tonight's disaster at sea. Okay, so Hannah, should you take any responsibility for the fried food buffet that Kiko served tonight? You told him his idea was on the money when it comes to Vegas, cuisine.
Yeah. To be honest, I thought the Vegas theme was going to be, a good idea. A lot of the food that we served, they had on the preference sheet, so we were giving them what they wanted. We just needed a bit more pajazz with the presentation. So,
a bit more pajazz.
Yes.
Well, to Captain Sandy's point, why was it okay for Kiko's nachos to be served in tonight's episode after you refused to serve Mila's last season? Did you see them before Bugsy brought them to the guests?
No, I didn't.
What do you think about the Mila comparison?
I think that, I don't know. I guess if I'd seen the nachos, I probably wouldn't have served them, but I didn't, so.
What do you think of Kiko's decision to serve brownies in the middle of the meal? So Vegas.
That's not what's happened when I've been in Vegas, but I think it's very difficult, Andy, because at the end of the day, I'm the chief stew. I'm running the interior. I can't manage the galley as well, and I can't make the chef's calls for him. So I'm very used to sitting back and letting Ben and Adam kind of do what they want, and yeah.
Are Captain Sandy's feelings towards Kiko's cooking valid, or does she have a vendetta against him?
I think that Kiko definitely had room for improvement, but I kind of saw that from the start, and I feel like when you're used to working on a private boat, you're used to the same guests and the same taste over and over. So working then on a charter boat with American guests is just a whole different ballgame. So I don't think he quite knew what he was in for when he signed up for the job.
Why exactly did you whisper, "I hate this boat," after Captain Sandy praised Bugsy's tablescape?
I say I hate this boat like every episode, Andy. That's nothing unusual.
Good point. Reaction to seeing Sandy and Kiko's Kiki in the galley at the end of tonight's episode where they tensely spoke about him leaving.
It was cringy. It was tough. It was definitely a tough conversation, I feel like, to have, especially when there's other crew around and you're, I think, day one of charter. It's definitely, I don't know, it's a tough conversation to have in the beginning of charter.
Not a conversation to be had in the middle of charter. Maybe a conversation to be had when the guests are off.
Right. Hannah, Sherry T wants to know if you were pregnant. Oh, we got this a lot. She wants to know if you were pregnant while filming the show because she thinks it looks like those were prenatal pills that you took while you were in your room.
No, they were Advil PM for swollen feet, and I was not pregnant.
Rachel S., for both of you, said, do you think Captain Sandy constantly asking guests about the food leads them to be more critical than if she didn't ask? This is an interesting conundrum.
Yes, of course it does.
You think it's leading the witnesses a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah, just leave them alone a little bit.
Alex asked me right now, like, oh, do you like how I look? I'd be like, yeah. And he's like, but is there anything? I'd be like, well, it's summer over there. You could do with a bit more of a tan, and your hair's this. Like,
Right. Hannah, Miranda wants to know your thoughts on Malia thinking that you continually throw Jess under the bus. She seemed to suggest the laundry debacle was because Jess wasn't getting direction from the top, i.e. you.
yeah, so that was an interesting one to me because it was just Malia versus Jess with what they said. Malia said, Jess had said that we don't do crew uniform when obviously we do. And Jess said she didn't say that. So there was no throwing anyone under the bus.
Alex, Layla O wants to know what you were actually trying to tell Bugsy during your drunken monologue tonight, and do you wish you just made a move instead of holding her hand in the crew mess?
Dude, I wish I would know what I say when I'm drunk. It's literally gibberish. I have my own language, and I honestly don't know who I was. I didn't know my name, so no, I don't know what I was trying to tell her. And I don't know. She gave me a little handshake goodnight because we don't know how to flirt, so we just handshake basically before you go to bed.
I didn't know who I was, he said. So, Alex, tonight we saw that when you're drunk, you don't spit game so much as drivel. So I have a round of questions about your behavior under the influence. It's time to spill the spike tea. Okay, have you ever left a bar without paying your tab?
Once, yeah. No, I left my card there a few times, so the bar just closes out and they get 30%. Yeah, they rank it up. If you leave your tab, they rank it up higher.
Have you ever lost your phone and wallet in the same night?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Weirdest place you wound up naked while intoxicated?
Bushes.
Have you ever woken up with a black eye or some other mysterious injury?
2 black eyes, yeah.
Have you ever woken up with, or have you ever drunk dialed or texted an ex while under the influence?
I did that last week, yeah.
Have you ever drunkenly slid into someone's DMs and made a move?
I've never DM'd a girl, no.
Have you ever DM'd a guy?
No, I DM'd you.
Did you?
I don't know.
I'm gonna look now. What drink is a surefire way to get you wasted?
Jaeger.
Soda with the lime. Oh, Jaeger, yeah, Jaeger.
Right. Oh yeah.
But
okay, last question. What embarrassing event in your early drinking days still makes you cringe every time you think about it?
Hooking up with someone inside of a concert behind a fence in the woods.
What concert?
Toby Keith.
Ooh.
Hey, good music.
Well, Hannah, since your fellow yachties are accustomed to caring for fussy charter guests, I wonder if you would trust any of your coworkers with your actual baby. I want to find out with the Baby Shippers Club. Who would you entrust to teach your child the difference between right and wrong? Captain Sandy or Captain Mark?
Captain Mark.
Who would you trust to babysit? Lara or Chef Mila? When the time comes, who's better equipped to teach your child about the birds and the bees? Bobby Giancola or Conrad Empson?
I would still go with Conrad.
Okay. Who would you entrust with your baby's nutrition? Chef Ben or Chef Adam?
Chef Adam.
Who would you ask to plan your child's first birthday party? Bugsy or Jessica?
Bugs for the decor and Jess because she'd be invited.
Oh, okay. Who would you choose to be your baby's personal bodyguard? Malia or Colin Macy O'Toole?
Colin.
Okay, who would make a more supportive partner during Lamaze class? June or Casey?
June.
June Hannah. June Hannah. Thanks for playing, Hannah. Alex, Gary H wants to know if you feel like Jess is using her finger as an excuse too often for her subpar work.
Nah, I don't think she just wants to work, so. Yeah, probably.
You don't think she wants to work?
Nah. Hey, if you have an excuse, you use it. Use it as much as you can.
Okay. After the break, more of your questions for these two, and check out our upcoming cast. Set your DVR. We're going to be right back with a whole lot more. Welcome back to Watch What Happens Live at home from the Hamptons. I'm Andy Cohen, starting from afar with Below Deck Men, Chief Stew Hannah, and Deckhand Alex. Drinking game reminder, anytime you hear this word in honor of tonight's Vegas-themed dinner, drink it till you're acting dicey. Okay, let's get into some more viewer questions. Hannah, Pretty Mess 6 wants to know if you felt like Sandy only brought Bugsy on to replace you, and would you ever work as a second stew under Bugsy?
I would never work as a second stew, period. And I don't know. I don't know what Sandy's game was this season.
Alex, Chloe K wants to know how happy you were when you finally got to kiss Bugsy during the charter guest excursion, and was it awkward with them asking you two questions if you were dating each other?
I don't count it a kiss. The cheek is like, kissing your grandmother. So, and then the second one, no, I love it. I live for the most awkward, questions ever. So I thrive off of that.
Clearly. Hannah Woody 542 wants to know, after 5 seasons of second and third stews telling you they feel like they do most of the work, do you still think it's everyone else's opinion and not a fact? I understand that your ranking is higher and you're their boss, but it seems true, says Woody.
If I didn't listen to it in season 2, I'm not going to listen to it in season 5, am I?
Alex Addison B wants to know if you think Kiko did the right thing by telling Sandy he would leave after this charter, or do you think he should have stuck it out? Well, we don't know what happens, but...
Well, I mean, yeah, he said he would finish the charter, so I think that's all that matters, but the conversation shouldn't have happened on the first night.
Alex Ella W wants to know what was going through your head when the charter guest jet ski tipped over, especially since it was the first emergency of the season.
No, I mean, the first thing you do is just, you don't really think, you just jump in the water. Malia was the first one in, and I'd fallen her in afterwards, so I think you just gotta just react and not really think.
Okay, well, tonight Captain Sandy said that Kiko's cuisine wasn't super yacht food, so I want to see if my guests would apply that label to some other meals that I put on the table. It's time to play Is It Super Yacht Food? That was weird. To honor the immortal words of Luann from the Real Housewives of New York City when she said, "We got the yacht, we got the yacht." I'm going to show you both pictures of food plated on Roni or Below Deck Men. For each dish, you will guess which is which. Is this super yacht food?
No.
Alex?
Yes, I've had some bad chef, so yes.
Yes, that is homemade kimchi that Chef Alex made with spring rolls and rice stir fry. Okay, is this super yacht food?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Shirdahi tuna. Chef Ben. Is this super yacht food?
No.
Yes.
That is part of a dinner Bethany made on Scary Island. Is this super yacht food?
Was that pecan? Yeah, I say yes. Yeah. I'll eat that.
Indeed, that's the cake Anastasia made because Mila didn't know how to do it. Is this super yacht food?
No, that's fake ravioli. No.
That's scrambled eggs.
Oh, scrambled eggs made by Ramona, season 9 in Vermont.
And those raviolis.
Is this super yacht food?
No.
It is, Chef Ben. It's freshly caught octopus with a cherry tomato. Is this super yacht food?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, Chef Adam made this classic caprese salad. What about this? Is this super yacht food?
It could be, but no. Just a basic salad, I guess.
Nope. Blackened shrimp. Turks and Caicos. Okay, last up. Is this super yacht food?
It was served on a super yacht. Whether it's super yacht thing is a different thing.
It was served on a super yacht by Chef Ben. It's octopus with ginger and tomato back in season 1. Hannah, Camilla, N wants to know if you were feeling down while out at the club because Kiko wasn't there, or was it because Sandy told you you're not you earlier?
Yeah, I was feeling pretty down from about Charter 3 of this season anyway. It felt like a very strange season to me.
Vera I wants to know, Alex, do you think it was appropriate of Rob to tell Malia he didn't like her energy?
No, you shut up and you do your work. It doesn't matter. No.
By the way, Alex, how did you feel when you saw Bugs say she would marry you in a game of Shag, Marry, Kill with the other guests?
That's a great answer. The best answer anyone could ever said. Absolutely.
Well, Alex, last time you joined us, you wore a shirt where your head was photoshopped on top of John Mayer's body using a picture of John and I at Watch What Happens Live. So I'm about to throw down even more Johnnies to put you on the spot. It's time to play Name That John. We have photoshopped your head onto various Johns who visited the clubhouse. You'll guess each John with hints from me along the way. Okay, any idea who this John is?
No.
He's a wrestler.
Oh, with the beard? That's not Cena. No.
Let's reveal.
Oh,
That's your beard, you dopo. Okay, it is John Cena.
You want to
Okay.
know who the body is?
Yes.
That's you?
I want to know who the body is.
That's John Cena.
Okay, what about this one?
Oh, that guy's wearing a nice coat. Whoever that is has.
He's married to a model, and he can sing. John
Legend.
Yes, it is John Legend. Okay, what about this person? He is from my hometown. He is
Where you
famously from St. Louis. He's famously endowed.
No clue. Pass.
It is John Hamm. Okay, what about this John? Any idea? He had an iconic mullet at one time in his life. He's everybody's favorite uncle. Any idea?
No. I wish I was.
It's Uncle Jesse, John Stamos. All right, last up, here's one more. This is a world-renowned tennis player. Any idea who it could be?
John Mack?
Is it Johnny Mack?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Very good. Good job, dude. All right, after the break, more with these two and our moment of Oslo. We will be right back. Welcome back to Watch What Happens Live at Home. I'm Andy here with Hannah and Alex. Alex, Prina L texted and wants to know what was going through your mind while Sandy sat there and watched Malia's speech.
Yeah, I mean, I think Sandy just wanted to see how, Malia interacts with us, but I don't know, I think it's a little weird. I think it's like you're the, if you're the boss, like kind of let her do her own thing on her own time. So, I mean, I don't know.
Hannah, I think I know what you're going to say here, but do you think that Sandy is a micromanager?
Yeah, I thought she was like back then, but this season was a whole other level of micromanaging.
And what do you attribute that to? Do you think she is seeing herself on TV and thinking she should get more involved, or?
I think that she watches each season and like gets more involved, and I think she wants everything to run perfectly, which I completely understand, but it's, Below Deck is throwing a crew that have never worked together before onto a boat and expecting things to run perfectly. It just life doesn't work like that.
Alex, Craig J wants to know, watching tonight's episode back, do you think the Stews should have stopped Kiko's food from going out tonight?
I mean, it's either no food or whatever they're getting served. So no, you really can't. You know what I mean? It's he's the chef, he's the artist, and you just gotta let it roll with it.
All right, it's time for tonight's moment of Mazel. Breaking in a new stew may be a challenge, but it's nothing compared to training a new puppy. So for anyone who adopted a dog during quarantine, here are some tips from my buddy, dog trainer Brandon McMillan.
Thanks, Andy. My mazel of the day goes out to everybody who has adopted a dog during this pandemic. Now, naturally, when you adopt a dog, they're going to come with a few behavior issues. Lucky for you, I'm going to give you 3 vital tips to help prevent these issues from getting worse. Number 1, trust. Make sure the dog trusts you. If the dog does not trust you, you will not be able to train them efficiently. The more they trust you, the better your training will go. Number 2, obedience. Obedience is the ABCs and 1, 2, 3s of a dog's life. Once you teach your dog basic obedience, they'll be a much more well-mannered dog in the long run. And number 3, exercise. Assuming your dog has some form of training, if your dog still has behavior issues, it's because of lack of exercise. A well-exercised dog is a very well-mannered dog. For more tips like these, you can always check out my masterclass at masterclass.com.
Thanks, Brandon. And I want to thank Hannah and Alex for being here. The word of the night was Kiko. We said it 11 times. If you've been playing our drinking game, Don't Drive. Tomorrow night, we're on at 10:15. Watch our after show on Twitter Live now. Good night, everybody. Thanks, you.
Good night.